Hi everyone, today we are going to have a look at some clay. Now clay is very versatile. There's loads and loads of things you can do with it. You can obviously make shapes with it, you can stick it onto trees to make faces, you can put imprints into it, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make some natural imprints in our clay. Now if you can't get this air dry clay, you can get it off the internet. It comes in some different colours apart from this terracotta. You could use playdoh, because as I discovered the other day, if you don't put the lid on after they've played with it, it goes quite hard. You could also use salt dough, and I will post the recipe for the salt dough underneath this video when I post it. So this clay here, I'm going to start with a little ball of it, and it's quite hard when you get it out the packet, so you need to work it in your hands to warm it up. Roll it into a little ball and then put it on a flat surface. If you can squash it down with the heel of your hand, you can make it quite flat. And then as you can see here, I've chosen some natural objects that I've collected on some nature walks. This one didn't come from near my house because I don't live near the beach. This came from my last trip to the beach. I've got a fossil here, which also did not come from my house. We've got an acorn cap. We've got some tree. We've got a teeny weeny holly leaf. Some ivy berries that looks a little bit like a firework, I think. An ivy leaf and a couple of cones. So have a little play around with the things that you find, because different things leave different impressions on the clay. So if I squash this pine cone in and pull it out, it looks a little bit like a flower. Can you see that? Or if I get this shell here and push it into the clay, you can see it leaves a really nice pattern. Okay? So whatever you find on your nature walks, have a play with it and see what you think would work best for you, because I'm looking to do something that I'm going to keep. So I was thinking that it's winter now, so I'm going to make an impression of something that reminds me of winter. So I was going to use a holly leaf and an ivy leaf, because they're two plants that remind me of the winter. And then in 3 months' time, when it's the spring, I'm going to find a plant that reminds me of the springtime and do another clay impression. And then in the summer, I will find a summer plant that reminds me of the summer, and then something else in the autumn, perhaps a fallen leaf or something. Now, I have cheated a little bit here, and I've got my rolling pin from the Play-Doh set. So to make it nice and flat, you can roll it out with this. Also, because I'm doing a holly imprint, I didn't really want to squash the holly into the clay with my hands, because that would probably hurt a bit. So I'm going to lay my holly on there, and I'm going to lay my ivy next to it. There we go. And then firmly push down into your clay to leave an impression. And when you've pushed it down, if you very gently lift them off, you should be able to see the outlines of the holly leaf and of the ivy leaf. Probably needed to push a little bit harder on that one, but you can try again. And this air dry clay, if you leave it somewhere nice and warm for a couple of days, it will go solid, and then you can paint it if you'd like to, or just leave it the natural colour. If you wanted to hang it on the wall, you could use a stick to make a little hole in it. There we go, like that. So that before it's dry, or after, yeah, so you've got a hole. There we go. And then when it's dry, you could stick a piece of ribbon and you could hang it on the wall. Okay? So have a go at that. Happy investigating. Try as many different things as you can find, and when you find something that you like, leave it to dry, and you've got yourself a lasting clay impression that you can keep. Enjoy!